and we're about to go to Egypt.
We are.
I've wanted to go forever, because you're always telling me about when you went 20 years ago. 30 years ago. So it'll be interesting for me to see it, and interesting for you to see how much it's changed.
And it's going to be great to go with you.
Oh. Our first morning in Cairo. I think it's been 7 years since I've been on a plane. Some of the things that are different, I already knew to expect, but it's kind of a different thing to experience it in real life. Instantly, you step out of the airport and you get like that heat, nighttime heat that you just do not have anywhere in the UK. And the driving was kind of a crazy experience. I always know I'm somewhere abroad when getting like a taxi or a car that you've hired or something, and they have those LED lights that sync up with the music. Only I had a seatbelt, Mum didn't have a seatbelt, which was interesting in the Cairo traffic. And also people just cross the road like a motorway, like it's got like cars are going like 70 and they don't run across, they just stroll across. Anyway, I'm excited to see some more stuff. Hello babies. We want to stroke them so badly. Doctor advised, when we got our shots, advised us, because we didn't get a rabies one, not to touch any animals, but I just want to cuddle them. Won't be able to see it on the phone, but we've come to the top of, is it Cairo Tower? Yes. Cairo Tower. And you can see the pyramids from here. Just over there, in the fog. Pyramids. Feels awful because she promised this guy she'd come back to his shop and now she's too tired. We're being very tough tourists. The full story is, we were going back to the hotel and then she saw him in the distance and she said, we can't go that way. And then we got lost. So then we ended up seeing him anyway. Isn't that right, Mother? Might be true. Bloody dogs have been barking all night. I know you know it, and they're reminding me of Archie, and it's making me miss him even though it's only been 2 days. Today we're going to the pyramids, and I'm woohoo, and I'm a little nervous because it's going to be very busy and very hot, and I'm very autistic, but luckily, I have someone who I know will be prepared to carry me up the 47 metres inside the main pyramid if I have an issue.
I'll try.
Will you make sure to film it? That would be really entertaining. We met all the other guests last night and that was interesting. We made the fatal mistake of discussing politics. You know, it was okay. We mostly just, you know, stayed quiet and thought, interesting. What an interesting opinion you have.
Around here as well.
We've been saying it's a great view of the city in the mornings, but you can just see how much pollution there is. There's always like a thick haze over everything. Interestingly, that actually looks nicer in the camera. got like these big cracks in the rock. Makes you feel very safe.
We filmed it?
Yeah. Oh, interesting. We're about to go in the big pyramid, and this poor woman is going in against her better judgment because she doesn't want me to go in alone. She's done it before, doesn't want to do it again. I'm not even claustrophobic, she just worries about me. Correct. Correct. Instantly too hot. Bag on the back's not a good idea. I'm running out of breath. Yeah. Good workout. At least this part you can stand up straight. I'm in this tiny crawl space. I'm bent at like 45 degrees. Oh, made it. Even the old woman made it.
Really just.
It's a big room, isn't it?
It just needs a bit of decoration.
It does really. We're inside a pyramid. Then we got absolutely bamboozled into giving this guy an outrageous tip for taking some extremely awkward photos of us inside what, for all intents and purposes, looks like any old concrete shed. Survived, just about. Back outside. We were mildly frustrated with the tour guide because he gave a very long talk, and by the time he'd finished it was really crowded, but when we got here it was nearly empty. You could have taken some pictures without all these people in them. I wouldn't have minded the talk, but maybe afterwards.
Yeah, what do you want to do photos of?
Us in front of a pyramid. Hey. And over this side, there's all the city.
There's my mother.
Talking as well about the number of times we hit our heads inside that pyramid. I think I hit my head on the ceiling about 5 times. How many times did you hit your head?
About the same.
About the same, yeah. So if we're actually just speaking complete nonsense right now, it's because we're concussed.
From its top, 137 meters. It used to be 147. The middle one, guys, now 136. The small one to your right side is 60 meters.
Building some new visitor centres and restaurants around here, and they're building a lot in Egypt because the guide was saying that the new president is focusing on building a lot, so he's borrowing a lot of money, and that's why a lot of the buildings are being knocked down and in the process of construction. And they're building a metro station to the pyramids, which I think is a very good idea. We would do a camel ride, but I'm just slightly wary about welfare things, so, and I have been on one before, I think in Lanzarote.
Yeah, you did.
As usual, lots of people trying to sell you stuff. bloody hot. We saw when we were driving past, they're making a new museum called the Great Museum, the Great Egyptian Museum. I think it's got a slightly different name. The tour guide was saying it's kind of sad because it's not got the same character as this building. But the thing it will have
Is air conditioning. You don't have to carry these around with you.
yeah. Who brought that, by the way? Whose brilliant idea was that?
I think it must have been mine. Canopic jars.
Canopic jars. Yeah, there's a thing. We're standing in front of a thing that has
Tutankhamun's.
Tutankhamun's that house Tutankhamun's canopic jars. Sorry. You tell me what to film and then stand right in the camera. In the bit about Tutankhamun, and it was amazing. It's coffin, like the inner coffin and the outer coffin and the mask, like the death mask thing. If you're ever here, it's well worth it. I think it must have been so cool to find that stuff. I like the colours on it. I'll be buried in this one. You're asking? In a shoebox. Charming. The problem is, this place is massive and we're very, very hot. And the tour guide, who he's very good, he knows what he's talking about. But he does speak for a long time.
On more obscure and interesting pieces of Egyptology.
Yeah,
if you were Sue Jones, who is really, really knowledgeable about these things.
Shout out Sue Jones.
Sue Jones.
What are we looking for now?
Mummified animals.
Mummified animals.